Was he a maths teacher? No, I thought that's what he said. Yeah. It's not ethics, whatever he teaches, is it? Ethics in Essex? Oh no, it wouldn't happen. Right, so we're cracking on because we've got a lot of people to see and they've all been of such a high standard. I see no reason for me to bring them down. I've got to go and see the teacher anyway. We've got some lines to do. Right, that'll get the evening going. You might not enjoy it, but I will! Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Welcome to the stage. From there, Jack Squires.
Hello everyone, thanks for coming out. It's been quite a day today. Went down to Luton this morning to be on Free Counties Radio. I went there by bus, and as we were travelling there, I looked out the window and saw a big building on the sign said Luton Dental and Sedation Centre. And I thought, it's a bit weird to have a whole building dedicated to sedating people. But then I got off the bus, took a look around and realised if I lived in Luton, sedation would probably help. But that's by no means the worst place I've ever been to. I was once in a travel lodge in Gateshead in Newcastle, and I opened the drawer to find a Bible, and in the Bible it said, "Are you in a dark place in your life?" I thought, yes, I'm in a travel lodge in Gateshead. But I opened it up and said, if you're in a dark place in your life, this might help. Turn the page, it was just a map with directions out of Gateshead. But no, it's really good. It's really good you've come along to raise money for charity, and hopefully this night, it's a great way to raise money. 20 people get together, tell jokes. Hopefully it goes down a little bit better than the Joseph Kony campaign of 2012. Does anyone remember that? Two Americans got together and decided the best way to take down a Ugandan warlord was by buying a bracelet. It's a ridiculous idea, but I have to give it to them because I hear they're coming back this year to stop the North Koreans with the matching earrings. They could take any conflict in the world and sell a fashion item, you know? They could stop conflict in Iraq by selling a bag, and they could call them Baghdad bags. You know, the world will still be a terrible place, but everyone will be that little bit more fabulous, you know? But no, it's weird. And then obviously it's weird for me to be doing this because I'm quite a nervous person. At school I was always really nervous. I was one of those kids that never wanted to be asked questions. So I had to come up with some way of getting out of being asked questions. So what I did was, I came up with this great system. If I was asked a question, I would come up with the most obscure answer ever in the hopes that it would get me out of anything. Like it happened in a languages lesson. The teacher went, "So what do you do when you get home? What's your daily life like?" And I just went, "Well, if you must know, I wait till everyone goes to bed, fill up the bathtub, turn a cucumber into a periscope and pretend to be a submarine." Now, that will work, but it will work one of two ways. Either they'll never ask you any more questions ever, or they will ask you more questions, but this time under psychiatric analysis. This is a weird world we live in. You know, they published a study, I was watching TV, they published a study, sugar is addictive for kids as crack. You know, but we don't care about that. You know, there's no adverse effects to that. I don't remember the last time a fat kid broke into my house and tried to steal my DVD player for Kit Kat money, do you? And even if he did, he'd probably be easy to stop. But no, we do. We have quite a lot of overweight people in this country. It's a shame, really. But that's why I joined a gym. You know, I joined a gym at the beginning of this year, which reminded me why I've never joined a gym in 19 years. I went to lose weight. What I lost was my faith in humanity. Have you seen those guys in gym? The guys who go into the weight room, they pick up the heaviest weight they can find to impress the ladies with it. Have you seen them? They're lifting their weights and they're just like, they look like Popeye having a stroke. Is there any women in the audience? Is there any women in the audience tonight who's attracted to those kinds of people? Thank you. It's ridiculous. And if there is a woman who's attracted to that, the two of you clearly belong somewhere in a secure unit away from the rest of the world. But no, we do have strange things. Does anyone remember the Mayan apocalypse from last year? The people thought the world was going to end because a centuries-old calendar came to an end. My calendar runs out every year. That doesn't tell me I'm going to die. That tells me I need to take a trip to Clinton's and get a new one. People actually thought that the best way to do this was to go to the top of a remote French mountain, which will then open up, a spaceship will come out, and then you will go off to another planet. If you want to find out if your idea is crazy, use the words magic alien spaceship mountain in the same sentence and find out. But no, that wasn't the worst thing we had last year. Last year, the worst thing we had was that song, Call Me Maybe. Does anyone remember that? In case you haven't heard it, basically the chorus is, she goes, hey, I just met you and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. It's not crazy to give someone you're attracted to your number in the hopes that they'll call you. Like if she was in a club and walked up and went, hey, I just met you and this is crazy, but here's my liver and half of one of my kidneys in a plant pot, that would be a little bit more on the crazy side. We have some crazy things. You know, energy drinks. Why do we have energy drinks? Why do we give kids more energy than they should ever need or have? Have you seen them? And no wonder they make these kids crazy. Have you ever read the ingredients? There's so many E numbers on there. You could sink a fleet of battleships just by reading the ingredients. But no, kids are weird. Kids are a bit weird. You know, they don't really... Their minds haven't quite formed properly yet. I'll give you an example. I'll leave you with this. I was at a New Year's Eve party. It was a costume party, and I had a fake mustache on. The kid walked up to me and he went, "That's not a real mustache." And he seemed really cocky about it as well. He was like, "That's not a real mustache." I went, "How do you know?" And he went, "Because if it was, you'd have a beard as well." And I thought, that's crazy. Do you think he walks up to people with like prosthetic legs and goes, "That's not a real wooden leg"? Because if it was, you'd have a parrot and an eye patch too. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Good night.
Squires! I didn't realise you were there. I don't know.